Hey guys, welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be talking about past participle verbs and some vocabulary. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be covering the past participle. Now, as you guys know, we have regular and irregular verbs. Okay, those are the verbs that we have in the English language. So now, the list of the regular and irregular, there is no grammar rule that it's going to let you know which one it's going to be a regular or irregular verb. Okay, basically the only way you can learn this is basically by practice. If you practice a lot, then you're gonna memorize some verbs. On here, I have a list of like the most commonly used verbs. Obviously, we do have a lot of more verbs, but these are just some for me to explain the point. Okay, so basically, on regular verbs, as you guys know, we only add the ed. Okay, that is going to be the past participle. Basically, that's going to be it. Ed at the end of the regular verb. For example, accept, that is present, the past accepted, and the past participle as well, accepted. Okay, so achieve, achieved, add, added, allow, allowed. Okay, so basically those are some regular verbs. It's real simple, real easy, but like I mentioned, we have other lists that we have that it's called irregular verbs. Now, irregular verbs, they don't have, they don't follow the rule in which you just add ed at the end. For example, for example, the verb do. The present is do, the past is did, and the past participle it's done. Okay, so if you notice, it didn't use the rule like ed. You can say did it. Did ed at the end? No, that's incorrect. For example, drink. I drink water. Drank, past participle, drunk. Okay, so basically there is no rule, to be honest. You just have to practice with the verbs, and that way you're gonna learn. Eventually, you're gonna memorize some verbs. Okay, it's like the ones that are easily that you can learn really easily. I don't know, like eat, present, ate, past, eaten, past participle. Okay, but basically, like I mentioned, it's just by practice. Now, just one quick, I have here one quick note, like a side note. So on this part, in the first column is the infinitive form. What is the infinitive form? Is basically the to, the particle to plus the verb. I could say to accept, to achieve, to boil, to behave. Okay, that'll be the infinitive form of a verb. The second column is the simple past tense, like I mentioned, and the third column is the past participle. The past participle, when it's combined with has, remember, if it's a third person singular, we use has. If it's a plural, then we use have. When you combine this, you can form the present perfect tense, and the past participle is also used with had to form the past perfect tense. Okay, but that's for another video. This is just like to explain, like we don't have a rule to follow in which you can differentiate from regular to irregular verbs. Okay, it's basically just by practice. Now, moving on to the vocabulary. We're going to be talking about mp3 players. Okay, that is going to be the list of today's vocabulary. So the first one, it's going to be, we're going to be talking about the mp3. Basically, what is the mp3? Basically, that is, I have the definition here. It says standard technology and format to compress. Remember, to compress a file is like to make one large file to make it smaller. Basically, that is to compress. Now, for compressing a sound sequence into a very small file. I don't know if you guys remember, but before, for music, we use CDs, you know, a regular CD. Now, in those CDs, you could store maybe like 12 to 15 songs, and that's it, a regular CD. Now, after it came the MP3 format, which is basically you can store maybe like 100 or 150 songs in one CD. So basically, the MP3 format, it's just a compressed file, basically, okay? A music compressed file, and that's it. The code AAC. The AAC, it's another type of music file. Okay, we have like WMA, I think it's another music file, MP3, AAC, it's another type of file, but basically it's referring to music. Now, when we use this with decode, what is to decode? Means to translate something. If you have a coded message, to translate it means you're going to transform that message into something you understand. Okay, basically that is to decode, to transform something you don't, maybe a coded message, to something you understand. Okay, a playlist, everyone knows what's a playlist. I don't know, maybe like a list of songs. Okay, basically that's a playlist. Bitrate. This is another definition that I have here. It says, well, remember, talking about MP3 players. The lower the bitrate, the more information the encoder will discard when compressing the file. Remember, the MP3, it's a compressed format, okay? But in the process of compressing something, you may lose some quality in the song, okay? That's a possibility. So this is where the bitrate takes place, or we can use the bitrate part. It says bit rates range from 96 to 320 kilobits per second. Using a bit rate of 120 kilobytes per second usually results in a sound quality equivalent to what you hear on the radio. So basically, an MP3 format or song using a bit rate of 128, it's gonna have a good quality, which is basically what you guys are on the radio. Okay? So basically, this is the lower the bit rate, the more information you will lose. So higher bit rate means higher quality. Okay? When freeze, this is an expression we can use. Freeze means something stop working. If your computer freezes, then it's not going to work. If my cell phone freezes, it's not going to work. Okay? You could like refer it to, like, I don't know, if it says it's freezing, you are describing the weather as well. So you have to be really careful on how you use this word. Remember, freeze, stop working, or in a context means the weather is really, really cold. However, we're talking about MP3 players, so machines basically. So when a machine freezes, it means it has stopped working. Okay? A driver. Remember, here we have another expression, we can call it, but a driver is not a person who drives a car, okay? In a context, it is. In this context, a driver or device driver is a software program that enables a specific hardware device to work with a computer's operating system. So I don't know, if you guys go maybe to the Apple store and you guys buy mice, for example. This is a mice. So this right here, it's a really basic piece of technology, so it doesn't need a special driver. However, if you buy maybe like a higher quality mice or keyboard, you know, where you write, when you type the words in your computer, some keyboards and some mice, they need some a special driver, basically. Okay? Remember, so the driver is going to make the hardware compatible with your software. Okay? It's going to work like a link between the hardware and the software in some cases. Okay? Uploaded. So when you upload something, it can refer that you are transferring data from one device to another. For example, before, when you would want to update the iPod, not the iPhone, the iPod, which is basically the music player device, not the cell phone, the iPod. For you to upload or to update, to update your device, you will have to connect the device into a dock. What is a dock? Basically, is just like an accessory in which you connect your cell phone or your electronic device, and either it can charge battery, or it's going to upload or to update a new software, basically. Okay, a new operating system, we could call it. Basically, just an update. So to upload, let's think of another example. When you post something on Facebook or Instagram or any other, I don't know, social network, you are uploading that picture. For example, if you take a picture and you post it to Facebook, then that picture, it has been uploaded to Facebook. Okay, you just transfer the data from your cell phone to the Facebook cloud, which is basically where Facebook storage all of the images or videos or whatever. Gigabyte, that's a unit of data measurement. Remember, we have kilobytes, terabytes, gigabytes, megabytes. So basically, that's a gigabyte. And the capacity, talking about mp3 players, it's going to be the available storage in the device. So I don't know, if you buy an iPhone, it has like 64 gigabytes, 128 gigabytes, I think, and 250. That is going to be the total capacity of the device. Okay, basically that's it. Let's move on, please, to the next part, vocabulary. Remember, we're talking about, on this, we're going to be talking about cell phones. So cell phone, real simple. Everyone knows what a cell phone is. An iPhone, Galaxy S, any other, cell phone, basically. This is a cell phone. Touch screen. The touch screen is going to be part of the device. For example, in my cell phone, this is a touch screen. If I have it, and then that's the touch screen. Okay? Lithium ion battery. Those are like the new, how we can call it, new batteries, I think. Supposedly, they pollute less than the old-fashioned batteries. So lithium ion is like the new generation of batteries. They can storage a lot more power for your device for less hours of charging. So basically, that's a lithium ion battery. Caller ID. So the caller ID is going to show you the number of the caller. So if you receive a phone call in your phone here, it's going to show you the number of that person. Okay? Call waiting. That's a feature of a cell phone. If you are talking with a person and then someone else calls you at the same time, one of those calls is going to be waiting. So basically, that's the call waiting feature. Okay? Voicemail. Now, this another feature. You can leave a voice note or you can listen to your messages. This service, I think not a lot of people use this anymore because this is like really, I don't know, old-fashioned, we could call it. So the voicemail, if you call someone and they don't answer, you have like a recording that it says the number you call is not available. Leave a message after the tone. So then you just leave your message and that person is going to listen to the message when he or she is available, basically. Text message. This is like what we know as SMS. Remember, we have two types of messages. We have instant messages like Facebook, Messenger, or WhatsApp. Those are instant messages. This, we have text messages. Okay, this is the SMS. Ringtone. The ringtone is like the tune or the sound you want your cell phone or your device to play when you receive a call or a message. If you like the song Tusa or you like Banda MS, you are a really big fan, you can set up a ringtone of that song or that band, basically, or any sound you want, basically. 3G network. So basically, a really basic explanation. The 3G network, I have here like a definition. It says, what we may now consider a slow network in many large municipalities or countries was the height of technology until 4G came along. 3G networks reach 2 megabytes per second on stationary or non-moving devices and 384 kilobytes per second on devices in moving vehicles. So basically, the 3G is like the connection, we can call it, for your internet service in your cell phone, okay, or any other device that supports a 3G connection. Like it says here, this is like a slow connection. A lot of cell phones, they don't use 3G anymore. They use 4G connection. And in some countries, they already start to using the 5G network, which is basically faster internet. That's it. apps, Facebook, Instagram, and Uber, those are apps. And Bluetooth, that is like one feature or one service. It's not a service, but with this, you can transfer your data. Okay, not a lot of people use this anymore, I think, in my personal opinion. Not a lot of people use Bluetooth anymore. However, it's still possible. Like a lot of cell phones, they do have the Bluetooth capacity or function. You can transfer data or you can link them to another device. For example, the iPhone, you can buy your AirPods, which is basically this, but wireless. So if it doesn't have a wire, they have to pair somehow. So that's why we use Bluetooth connection. Okay. So guys, basically that's going to be all for today's video, and I will see you later. Take care.